and Iha. Greetings to all in creation. This is Aurora, Mother of New Creation. The shift from Tima T at the first contact ground crew team, and now we're dealing with torching the ends of the whole Egypt stuff. So I got banned from posting on YouTube for a week because some people that were used to my Dima T work felt very, pissed and sad about my embracing my Aurora fire and calling a spade, like applying all the mystery schools work from Hollywood to life on Earth. However, Archaea Aurora is a very fiery being that feeds off of killing ego. That's what I do. I'm very fierce and I eat ego for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I kill vampires as my main to-go thing, and criminals, and I'm here to reverse earthly injustice, and I'm on mission. I'm not here to sit on my laurels and be like, oh, hi, I'm Aurora. I'm gonna teach you how to make a frappe today. First of all, you buy caramel from the store. Then you mix it up with agave and you blend it with some coconut vanilla almond milk. And then you drink it with some collagen powder to keep, no, I don't do none of that. I'm at the stage where I'm radiating natural divine light. I've already done my 7 years of supplement intake and incorporating all organic substances into the density of life on Earth. And now I'm transmutational, so I only function through transmutation. And then it's very funny because Jonah Terry, your former father of all creation at Love Has Won, now lost his seat. And he's pissed. He stole from the house, and now he came and he did it again. He stole from me, and I'm the main house. So it's reversing really bad, not only on him, but on all his strategics. And he screwed Florida over. He's not even from Florida. So why Florida gave him that kind of power over me? You're stupid, Florida. I served you here. You're an ingrate state. He's from West the goddamn Virginia, where they have issues. And instead of you Floridians telling him to screw off and putting a torch up his ass, you took the Iranian side with Turkey and Russia, and you sold America off. You sold me off with Canada. What the fuck? So we're dealing with a lot of very misproportioned and imbalanced energies, and I almost feel like it's useless to even post these messages anymore. What we're also dealing with is a move back to the south end, towards, the Taurus frequency, which also links me back very tremendously to the Islam Taurus Turk reverberationals in Florida. And everybody knee-jerks hard when I'm like praying, because when I'm in Days in my room, while they're inviting all the strippers and the porn stars of the town to play out the programming of the Turkish Imperator style ruling, where, in Turkey, I went to Istanbul and I visited the homes of the main motherfuckers, because nobody knows the Ottomans. They are very evil, insane rulers that would slaughter children that are Christian just heartlessly. Like, they slaughter the chosen ones of God. Like, I'm being done now, like, openly, and everybody's laughing about it. Like, baby. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. And anybody, like, validating, like, Forsyth, now I understood why he would say, oh dear, yeah, when somebody steals your, like, when somebody takes your clothes and wear them, they're not your clothes to begin with. Excuse me? Like, they're using black magic and field manipulation and magician energies to shift the truth. No, motherfucker, that's my goddamn clothes. That my father in Israel works very hard every day above ground, because we don't fuck with motherfuckers and we don't destroy lives. We aid people, we insure them, we insure their homes and their healths and their cars and their travels and their medicals, and we lead them towards homeopathy and organic food through me and towards new creational energies. We took over the media and everything for God, and you're reversing my work. You stopped me from being able to use my bank Audi to have Forsyth's nigger money shoved up, and I don't understand. And then make me, a yes girl while you get a Russian broad fucked in my name, and everybody thinks it's hilarious, from Florida to South Carolina. And South Carolina here, the Catholic Church had cops around the property when I'm riding by 2 days ago. Exactly why? Because I'm calling out your bluff for marrying a fraud broad from Spain who they never even earned it in my name, because David Rogers from Hollywood told you to, because he abandoned my G6. And he doesn't even like Jesus. He's only using mofos like you idiots to fuck with Jesus. None of you love Jesus. You're all fraud broads from Niggerland is what you the fuck are. So this is now being reversed very strongly on the field. Like, I never stopped performing my, surgeries, and I'm locating now the main problematics of the field in terms of why, like, I'm being forced emasculated. They've been putting stuff in my food. It's 100% sure. They inject, like, the meat. I don't know what they do. Maybe they UV the drinks, even in the supermarkets. And apparently they program the food in everywhere. I've already seen visions of that. Like, what the cabal world does is when they go, say, underground in the Vatican, when they have the parties with the babies in the cages, and they put them through tests, and the strongest baby only can make it through these tests. Like, they'll put them through cauldrons and all sorts of crazy shit, and then they'll penetrate the babies to take soul essence and children and put them in cages and with the animals. It's just horror. There's, like, the skulls chambers downstairs and beyond. So once they get all this energy out, they take it to the food. So then they spread it in the grocery stores so that they keep the Egyptian pharaonic death trap, death business frequency, enslaving all in creation, like you guys all are now slaves to, and that's why they say that they say that the calling for the awakening of the 154,000 is going to come from the Pyramid of Giza. But you guys took it in the literal sense, like, to apply the pharaonic values onto creation through the Jonah Terry programming of his Masonic, wrong crystallization. He's not crystallized. He's not in the light. He missed, because it's hit or miss. Many people are wrong crystallized. Many people never get there, and they're wrong, false, they're deceivers. That's why he can't come near me. That's why all he does is he plays games around me, runs around, and, like, starts to mock me. And the Russian fraud broad is insanely jealous, and she wants all his sperm, and she's like, she wants all my money, and she's like, yeah, and that's because they allowed her in Shasta to go fuck in my name. Like, how Carlson allowed that? She lost me. How Miguel allowed that? He had to kick me out. He couldn't look in my eyes anymore. He didn't kick me out because I did wrong. No, he was ashamed of Jonah. He couldn't allow, as an archangel in his service, he couldn't allow for me to be in the same space as Jonah after Jonah's misdemeanor. It can't be. There are rules, energetic laws of spirit. If you bypass that, it's gonna reverse. So my voice is still very force emasculated now. I have like a whole, it's a heart block all the way from my heart, throat. It's deep ingrained sadness, very deep ancient, too much bullying, too much mean energies. And then Forsyth is like, yeah, what you call in America, a nigger means a person of color. And then other people go, oh, a nigger means a guy who will shit his pants when he's arrested by the cops. The difference between a black guy and a nigger is a black guy is just a black guy. A nigger will do anything in his power to get arrested. So I don't know, but in the real world, that's not like we use words to step on your horns. I'm here to provoke your egos, to get the reactions that I get, to see, okay, now YouTube's gonna block me for a week. And then they're like, how come you don't feel your twin flame? Because there's all sorts of hoes and hookers around him. He's married. And then he tells me, why are you wasting my time if he's my twin flame? Because I don't know at this point who's gonna get who's gonna be able to serve my covenant for being the shift and how it's going to transpire. Because I'm also seeking guidance from the Galactic Confederationals, because I got served for Aurora Method of New Creation here, and I heard Aurora in Mount Shasta. My new creation baby's name is Lily. My first remedy on Siesta Key was Tiger Lily, because I have very opposing poles. Like, I'm a very sunflowerish kind of person, but there's fire behind it. So like, I'm Libra ascendant Aries. Behind me is my Aries fire and passion, and I fuck shit up. But my front is Libra, very diplomatic, very sensitive, and the only non-animal scale of the whole zodiac. So, the final events, while I was in Mission House and I was the Dima octave, Dima T, final events energies update, and then I got Aurora, but they never let me do my articles for my transformation and for the transcript acquisition in crystallization. They stole that from them. They gave up their own power. They're as if Amy never even channeled the transcript, which she said she did, which I'm now very suspicious of. Maybe she just stole the tech of everything that they used while my mom was getting her plasma transfers, and she said it was her. Very possibly, because it's not normal that a person who actually did that from her heart, like she said she did, will watch somebody that she refers to as her child, if that's how she views beings, and then if I shift and she goes, okay, bye, I'm gonna let this kid from my house, who also she viewed as her kid or father of all creation at that point, she let him fuck a girl in my name in Mount Shasta. That's like, there's no more disrespectful possibilities of energetics than this. Like, that's the highest levels of disrespect. You can't be any more disrespectful. So she's not at all anything that I would refer to as mother of all creation, let alone my mother, because I don't really accept, I'm here to cancel the Disney, Cinderella versus Snow White versus the big bad witch of the East versus, we don't want none of that. It's called get hip or die trying. Not two and both. So now we're going through a reversal of everything. Jonah babies me, like, baby. He's like, I saw the visions very clearly. He's there in the hotel, he's fucking his Russian, and then he just like looks at his phone sideways and, baby, what is your password for the bank? Baby, come on, what are you? He's like in very vulgar energies now, because it was allowed at a place that I divinely refer to as source and wrote articles about. Because when I put my name on something, I mean it. I don't do shit halfway. Like, it's not like I wrote the articles half-assed. No, I was fully in it. I was there till the end. I was there to bring on full planetary liberation. You think I knew they were gonna have a motherfucker fuck a bitch under my card as myself? I don't know what that was. And then he married her as myself. And then it opened a portal where other beings started to do the same thing. And now everybody thinks it's fine to not become who they truly is. It goes against the transcript. It goes against what the transcript does for you. It brings your I am presence down. The fact that you guys allowed Amber to do this, that's all Egypt. You're all under Egyptian dark spells. So this is not gonna happen. It's not gonna work until you make it shift. You seek God of Israel instead of placating him and using all Egyptian principles on creation. That cannot work. Anybody who denies Jesus Christ of Nazareth and the resurrection, it's Judeo-Christianity. There's an ascensional process, and if they keep denying it, I told Netanyahu yesterday, you're gonna bounce your head against the wall. You're gonna hit the wall like you already are. That's all they do. They bounce their head against the wall of Lamentations and they weep because they still can't forgive themselves for having niggered themselves enough to crucify the King of the Jews, and they wrote that as a sarcastic thing on his cross. Oh, Jesus, King of the Jews. Well, forgive yourselves and don't yell at me if I say I'm mother of new creation from Tiberias. My name is Aurora. So now I have Israel involved since yesterday, and now I'm like all about, from the right to left. I'm trying to go Hebrew as much as possible. Because the art of Arabic is like, that's real. Like, that'll give you everything and beyond for the reverse side of the triangle that I've been taking everybody through, where my third eye is actually in my sacral chakra from the back. So I've been completely, I function downside up. I'm the reverse side of the triangle. That's why nobody can relate to me. But what I bring to the table is very valuable. Even when I was in the media world, people like from the right side up of the triangle were like, what are you talking about? The ends don't meet in their brain. But to me, I see clearly what I'm bringing to the table. I have activationals inside me that nobody else has. And what you guys have active is dormant in me. That's why I don't even understand half of your innuendos and jokes. I don't even feel you guys. Seeing is believing. When I'm in the room and there's like rumors that there's a guy around me that was in Shasta with me and with one of my session girls that's vehement instead of respectful, and instead of ordering them into right action and making each of these nigger, whore, prostitute, hookers quit their jobs and pay me and ascend, he's keeping them in prostitution and stealing the money and trying to buy me a phone with the prostitution money. It can't come through. Try to buy, and then he bought them all phones. It's really wrong, very wrong action. As for Russell, at first he fired up my passion and my flame, and I started to fire shit up. Fire, like real fire. And then now he couldn't anymore. He tamed me down. He's like, Demon. Because of, the organizationals where they kept at Mission House my dmatabrawi@gmail.com service email and my 843-290-399 service phone number that I then took to LA and ended there. So since after Mission in Shasta, I had visions out there that I was going to land here, then go to Beirut, and at the airport of Rafik Hariri, I was going to have my welcome party with the balloons. Then since this doesn't happen, the Sunnis got pissed at me, and they told me they were going to make me vanish last year in Fort Lauderdale. So they did. Now I don't have access to my platinum card. I don't have access to, even interacting with the bankers there. that are not allowing anybody outside of Lebanon to have any access to any Lebanese funding, because now they're living in deep terror and fear because of my power not being behind them anymore. So now I'm dealing with Baal. I'm trying to cancel out all the many, and I know it might sound like it's not incongruent with mission, because we're here to create gods and goddesses out of each and every one of us. So if I deny that Hercules and all these people too were gods alongside, Jesus being the highest, but you can't. Meaning you can't give your power away to, oh, Hercules, oh, god of Ganesta, and god of, Lakshmi, and you can't do that. I see how lost the yoga peoples are. And literally, it was only through my baptism with Jesus that I ever got my shift and my covenant served. Before then, Muhammad, the Muhammad person gave me a lot of power in America. I got my green card through Muhammad. Because in America, the real power here is Muslim. Islam rules America. It's very plain and simple. That's why now they're ruling the Muslims now and the Turks. They own the Dima Tabrawi Bank of America for $5 million. So, and they're not offering it humbly to me, for me to reform the churches and to unify all the churches of Pergaeus, of Philadelphia, and all the gospel work for the Revelation 66, because there's another fraud broad that says that she's Route 66 and all she wants to do is hump and laugh at me and steal from me, and she sets up the old niggers to hate on me and try to point fingers at me. Now, dear, listen. I don't want to listen. What am I going to listen to? Some magicians? What are they going to tell me? The reason why this is that, and then they lie to me all day, every day. Why? To mock me with the Russian fraud? What are you getting out of this? Is it helping your case? No, there's COVID and it increases every day. So I gathered yesterday after, not having been able to land and make the Sunnis ejaculate all over it, and like meet me with balloons and oh my God, cake, and me providing sessions is what they wanted from Dimati before I ever got Aurora Mother of New Creation. And then Russell empowered me enough, and then oh my God, I started to create videos that Amber right away was like, your videos are disgusting. What is this? There's echoes when I was like, greetings to all in creation, and I ended it with love as one, and it had echoes and all these pictures of like renegade people. Right away Amber shunned me because they empowered her. They gave her the sperm transfer, they gave her the tree of life, and they gave me nothing. They kept taking, and everything I took from my dad, my clothing, they took everything. Like, they're very jealous of my power in the light and my family bond. Like, they want to destroy me at every cost, but I don't get destroyed. I always find ways, very creative ways to keep on shining and dazzling and loving. And my, calling you a nigger, that's, you should take it as an honor when I call you a motherfucking nigger, because at least I'm noticing you and I'm calling out the demons in you, and I'm burning you by the church of Pergaeus and every other church. Also, this is gonna go away. Like, now my reservations, and like I've been so shunned sexually, by those like niggers. Literally, that's nigger shit, from like the Iranian peninsula of Islamic bullshit, where the harem people, the conquistadores, Ottoman motherfucker, and I know all their names because I studied them. Not Fakhreddin, those were okay. The Ottomans were horrible to study. I would cry studying my history books every year. It was horrible what they did to the people in Mount Lebanon and to the Fakhreddin lineage. Horrible. And now it's being done to me. Like, all the, the French colony from the Louisiana now, she completely colonized me. Now there's like super snow in Ohio. They're frozen. Because you can't talk to me like, oh, what's up? come sperm fuck. No, you gotta like level up. You gotta talk at divine levels to even get my not putting you in my spam box. That's all. And I said to you day one, I'm not the lineage of Adam. It reads the truth. I don't lie to people. And Lucifer's the bringer of the light, but he isn't the bringer of the light until he surrenders to God light. That's why now I can't have a masculine, because none of them are in God. None of them are in Christ. They're all out there fucking people and trying to, inject my meat with stuff and my food with stuff and put spells on creation to get me through the Greek gods or the Pharaoh gods or the whatever pyramidal. No. Only through Jesus. There's only one gate, and it's the narrow gate. And that's the size of my holy grail. Very narrow gate. There's no two to talk about it. So if you really want me, you gotta do the work. It's very simple. You gotta do the inner work. The guy's called Jesus, That's all. And his heart is my teacher. Anywho, one more thing. So the shoulder is opening. I'm still a bit frozen, like my brain spine connection is there, but there still is like the disjointment because they kept me too long on Forsyth's floor, and Forsyth has severe issues. He needs to be like put down and straightened out. He's like, the fuck? And he comes to me like, he looks at me like, fuck you, the fuck? Go talk to your fucking Russian hooker like that. But he can't because she's sucking his dick before hello. They stay, what happened to your like sexy perfume? They stole the perfume, they had an orgy in the fucking... It's bullshit. They're playing little toddler Egypt games with the little, Pharaoh shit, nigger shit from like Turkey onwards. The Turks had thousands of rooms for their mistresses, and then there's the room for the mom and the room for the wife upstairs. I'm not Muslim. I'm not gonna bring the fake heaven of Islam where everybody gets... No. I'm here for divine unions, and the field now is wired for divine unions. If anybody now is fucking in wrong action, if there's a wrong pussy and a wrong dick fornicating, COVID is gonna continue multiplying. You're continuing this. COVID is a root chakra. You guys shat on Shasta. You told Shasta, fuck you. You told California, fuck you. You used all my Shasta magic to take down to LA and take me to the cleaners with Russia. You made California and Shasta into trash nigger shit. There's a problem in the root chakra now. That's what COVID is. And you won't stop it. You keep doing more rituals thinking it's going to get better one day. It will never get better. The more rituals you do, the more you're going to estrange me and lose. All of you. So, I don't know, but the latest transmission was, okay, so provided like the Dima to Brawi route to Beirut hasn't been effective, because they don't want me to be the shift. At no cost does Dubai, my cousins in Dubai, Jordan, my cousins in Brazil, the whole Palestinian cause do not want the shift. So yesterday I emailed Netanyahu and I'm like, why don't you return my lost Tiberias heritage and welcome me back so that I can open from Israel the frontiers and have my brother and father come back to Tiberias, so that they don't live in extreme amounts of fear anymore, in not letting Lebanese people extrapolate more than $15 out of their bank accounts a week, because I have in my name now $5 million being used by the Muslims and the trash and the tramps, because it's not going to work, because we are the Jesus lineage. You guys are really messing with divinity now. You turned mission into peasant shit. You think the divine plan has anything to do with Egypt? No, it doesn't. Jesus banned the Egyptians. He burnt their firstborn kids at the altar. He did. It's in the gospel. Yesterday I estranged the guy here when I said that, but it's the truth. Jesus burnt every pharaonic firstborn child, and he hardened the heart of Pharaoh every day in order to save the Israelites from Egypt. I walked out of Egypt, but Egypt keeps clinging on to me because I think Jonah's desperate for Jesus, probably. Well, you can't tell me I'm retarding you, honey. You're married. I'm single. I don't have your passwords or your bank accounts. I don't have anyone I'm married to as Jonah Terry, and I don't lie to you, call you baby, and keep you isolated every day. I'm a respectful person, and I respect people. I treat everybody with honor and respect. I don't try to diminish people, to have fake power over them. So I went back to, you have problems because in Mission House you were jealous of me because I was Dimati and he was father of all creation, Lucifer, oh my God. I was simply Dimati. And I did very hard work, and then I got my Aurora name and nobody acknowledged it. They kicked me out the door. I got my covenant, everybody told me, no, you're fake. They started to squander it around to get me back as Dimam. So that goes against the transcript, I repeat. So either you are the transcript or you're a fraud, because I'm the transcript. And I am the shift you wish to see, and I am the one you've been waiting for. So now I'm, drawing the trajectory back to Israel for Aurora, and that would be the dream. Open the frontiers and have my brother and father meet me in Tiberias, and then we can go to Beirut and ease up the tension.